Okay, Penny, can you tell us a little bit about the super fight that you just won?
It was against a really tough MMA girl, Shayna Baszler, and I started off a little nervous. She's a really good wrestler, so I didn't want to kind of shoot in too much. We went down to the ground, and the fight went really well. I can't complain about anything. It was I controlled her pretty much throughout, and I managed to submit her, I think, within 2 minutes with a rear naked choke. So I'm happy.
Is it tough? Is it tough, kind of going against a wrestler versus maybe a jiu-jitsu specialist like yourself?
There's a lot of different aspects to wrestlers than there are to jiu-jitsu fighters. You know, wrestlers I feel are a lot more aggressive on their feet. They come forward a lot more. They initiate takedowns a lot more frequently than jiu-jitsu players are more inclined maybe to pull guard. So I was a little nervous about, I knew her background was wrestling, and so I made sure not to give her my legs, because I know she's also a footlock specialist. So I was very careful with her, but everything went really well.
So this is your first time facing Shayna, is that correct?
That's right, the first time, yes.
Yeah, you see probably about maybe 7 or 8 top jiu-jitsu specialists in the absolute divisions nowadays. Are you seeing that there's going to be a lot more competition coming up for women like yourself?
For sure, definitely. Right now I'm training, Worlds is next weekend, as you said, and there's 15 of us girls training together at the Gracie Humata camp. White belts, blue belts, purple belts, browns, blacks, and every year there's more coming up, so it's just going to get bigger and bigger from here.
I know Hillary. I think Hillary Williams is also kind of training for that as well, and it's great to see a gal like her, kind of make her way up into the ranks as well. I think she's an impressive person as well. Do you see anybody else that you see that are coming up to the ranks that are really going to be impressive coming up in the big years?
For me, the next person to watch out for is going to be Bia. She's from Brazil, one of our Humata team members, and she's 19 years old. She's been training jiu-jitsu since she was 5. So she's been training 14 years already. She's only 19. She's going to be one to watch out for the World Championship title for Absolute this year, for sure.
Are you seeing a lot more jiu-jitsu women in your native country of South Africa? Is it starting to grow a lot more?
Not so much really out there. I was just home over Easter, and I trained, and there wasn't any girls, in the class. So it's a pity because, girls, it's good for us to train with each other rather than, with the guys sometimes. But, I'm hoping to get back out there a little more frequently and try to do a few more seminars, try to promote it amongst the girls and try to get a girls team, developed out there.
Yeah, and how do you feel training here in the United States, training jiu-jitsu here? It seems like they're kind of a little bit ahead of the curve when it comes to their training and jiu-jitsu.
I think especially in California, there's just such a concentrated number of top jiu-jitsu and MMA fighters that train and live out here, and when you have that team around you and you're all feeding off each other, the growth rate is so much more than if you're stuck somewhere out by yourself. You're not developing as quickly, so that's why I'm here. I'm from South Africa. I'm missing my home. I'm missing my family. But right now, California, especially San Diego, is a place to be, for training with top class athletes.
Well, speaking of San Diego, that's where Cyborg trains, and you were able to defeat Cyborg last year. How did that kind of feel to be able to actually beat one of the top MMA girls in the world at the ADCC?
I was stoked, man. I was super worried about her. She's tough. She's strong. She came after it. I caught an elbow. I had a black eye after that match, and she's a strong, tough girl. And her jiu-jitsu was way better than I thought it was going to be. She was a really tough opponent for me. I was happy I got that win.
Are you saying that MMA is having an effect, like where more women are starting to take up the sport of grappling because they see women like Gina and Cyborg take up the sport?
For sure. They're pioneers for women's mixed martial arts and grappling. So it's awesome.
Yeah. So are you going to stick with grappling? Is MMA in your future at all, or do you think you're just going to be a grappler?
I'm training a little bit of boxing. We'll see. I have to train a lot more before I test myself on my feet. I'm not a striker by any stretch of the imagination, but I'll be a grappler forever, and maybe we'll see. The next couple of years where the boxing leads me. But for now, grappler.
And I think one last question about we see a lot of the ACDCs, and a lot of the Europeans are starting to kind of pick up a lot of these competitions, and now Grappler's Quest is starting to really pick up on the competitions. What's your feeling about how grappling competition is going on when it comes to some of these promotions?
We don't have that many tournaments that kind of promote us and support us. Like Grappling Quest support our lifestyle a little bit. So, you know, it's great. And, you know, the more Grapplers Quest and events like that we have, then the better it is for us, you know.
Will do. Anything else you want to add?
Just thank you to, you know, everybody that supports and promotes women's fighting. Fleetwood, thank you very much, and Fightworks podcast, and my new team, Fighter Girls. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Oh, anything you're looking forward to Worlds next week, right? Or a couple weeks?
Worlds next week, yes. Next
Okay.
week in Long Beach.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.